It only dawned on us this afternoon that we are 10 days out from leaving.
Yeah, we're 10 days out, and all things travel, something goes wrong last minute. So we are minus one fridge at the moment.
Yeah.
And we only had one fridge. So
yeah, we have some friends that had a similar problem last year, and we were traveling with them when said problem happened. We've gotten some advice from them about the fridge they got that fits in the space. So we have to look at that, but it's not the brand of fridge that we wanted.
So effectively, we're 10 days to run until we are on the boat on our way to the Big Island, and our fridge has been confirmed dead. So we now have to run that to ground, so to speak.
It was crazy because we got home in October.
Yep.
And the fridge was fine.
Yeah. It was only in the space of a couple of days, really, that the fridge went from being all the right temperatures to all the wrong temperatures.
Well, yeah,
it was only a couple of days.
Pulled it out of the car after we'd unpacked and cleaned it, put it in our spare bathroom to let it sit and chill out of the way so it wasn't in the car. And then we put it back in over Christmas and it didn't work.
Yeah. No. Oh, well, it did work. No, it went back in the car and it worked fine for a little bit.
Oh, no, we had it in. Yeah, we had it in for a couple of weeks pre-Christmas, like November.
Yeah, because we were using it. But if we want to go with an angle, which is where we want to go, they're an extra 60 mil in width, which the spot for our fridge doesn't accommodate. So we are potentially going to have to go down the path of modifying our setup, which would involve cutting plywood and all that sort of stuff. It's like not a major, but when you spend good money, and anybody who's put a setup in the back of a Troopie or had a setup put in a Troopie, ours was installed by Drifter, which we've been really happy with, but because it was designed with that National Lunar fridge in mind, it now makes it really challenging for us to put another fridge in there. You don't think, like, when you buy a fridge that, you spend quite a few $1,000s on a fridge, you wouldn't expect that you'd have troubles with it at the 12-month mark. So it's not even 12 months old. We're nearly coming up to the 12-month anniversary of having the Troopie set up in the car.
I think we had used it full-time for 9 months.
Yeah.
It's just becoming stressful because there is an end date and there is a time limit and there is a crunch, and we've got to wait for invoices to be paid and we have to wait for refunds to be processed.
As always, as time decreases to zero, rate of effort is increasing to infinity.
Day 10, we picked up the fridge from the Fridgies. We contacted the relative people to tell them that it was broken. So we're hoping that tomorrow we hear back from some people and get more information about what's next. So day 9 of our 10-day to run is a celebration for this guy. And I don't think he's very excited about his birthday now because he's super stressed.
Do a few 375 mil curls.
We're currently 8 days out from needing to be in Devonport to catch the Spirit. Currently in the back of the Troopie. And I've just been cleaning all of the dust out of their little spots and trying to just wipe everything over before I go and put all of our stuff back in. But there's just like, it's in totally little random spots. I don't know, without pulling the whole setup out, we're never going to get all the dust out of here, which is fine. But it is, every time I look somewhere, I find more dust. So I basically emptied most of our stuff. They're all empty. And they're just getting a quick wipe over. It's not super bad inside any of these, which is nice. Ugh. And I'm kind of getting excited again, which is cool, but we've had some rain here at home today, so it's kind of just been fluffing around inside trying to get everything organised. I've got crates and crates and crates of stuff just sitting around so that we can have good weather, come in and put it all in its place. I think because we've already done this once before, it feels a lot less daunting. I just know it's a half decent job. And I'm running out of days. A couple little modifications that we have done in Troopski. There's not many so far. The fridge is going to be the biggest one, but this was wasted space, but now we have a floating floor shelf in there because that was never meant to be in our setup, but now we have a floating floor in there, so that's going to be super handy to put some stuff in there. And we bought 4 of these crates, and they stack on top of each other quite nicely. Rather than having heaps of boxes that come out to about here, all the way down, I'm only going to have 4 of them. So very much trying to declutter and minimise all of our things. If it doesn't fit in those little white boxes, it's not coming. Little things like these stoppers, it's just tiny little bit of foam, has just stopped this whole door from rattling when we drive. So that's another tiny little change we've made. So we've just pulled the drawer out. We have done lots of cleaning and organising, pretty much emptied the whole quarter panel and then moved it all into what we call the toilet box, which is right up the front there. So that is now just full of parts and sheet sets, that like all the things that you don't need every single day is like right up behind my seat. I've decided I'm going to stack these 4 on top of each other, but we just pulled the drawer out. Yummy. They're the Teflon sliders that our drawer slides on. So we've just pulled that out. That's normally our pantry. Come inside and I'm going to show you the exciting birthday present that my mum got to both Mitch and I. Mum got us all new Tupperware. I had some already, but we have new additions to the Tupperware collection. So this whole thing should be pretty much Tupperware, which is going to be sick because I want to run more of an ingredient house in the Troopy. But we got to give this all a vacuum and then reorganise. We're in BCF and we found our fridge.
Thank the Lord. What are we?
We normally have 2 baskets in our old setup, so this will be interesting. But this is the new girl. Are they different baskets for them? Oh, I nearly fell over. What's that there?
They're not stackable.
Is that just to sit on top of? Small basket.
For the 80.
Now we're just waiting for a team member to come and grab it, and then my mum is going to have to come and pick it up for us because the box doesn't actually fit in the Troopy.
Hey guys, welcome back to the shed. Today we have to modify a perfectly good fit out, or modify our fit out. Unfortunately, I haven't told the boys at Drifter about it because I'm a little bit sad, and I suspect they would be as well.
And one thing that we were told is that National Lunar is being phased out.
Yeah, so fact check that for yourself, but we spoke with...
The supplier that got our fridge is phasing them out. It's hard to get parts for them to repair them, and if we were to get another National Lunar, it's not to say that it won't last us the 3 years that it's warranted under, but we don't really want to run the risk of having this happen to us on the road. We're so fortunate that this happened to us while we're at home.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're changing.
It was a great fridge. It was a great fridge, and just in the space of a fortnight, it just it slowly got worse, and quit. So now that means that we need to modify our setup, and we've decided to go with angle. So 60 litres was fine. We made that work, but we've now gone up to 75 litres.
The reason we've gone up to 75 litres is because it is no bigger than the 60 litre fridge in what we have to change.
Width-wise, so a lot of the angle fridges are 490 wide, so it wouldn't really matter if we had a 57 litre fridge or a 65 litre or even an 80 litre. It doesn't really matter for us. They're all 490 wide. So that's
about here.
Yeah, so today you might notice here we've got Wizzy Boy number 1 and Wizzy Boy number 2, and we are basically going to measure and cut this faceplate out of our setup, which is a little bit sad because we have inserts here for our bed basically, so we can basically cover up the walkway. We don't do it that often, but we can cover up the walkway and use this as a bed space if we want to. But by our original fridge dying and then not being able to get a fridge of comparable size that's quite skinny, means this has got to go so that we can have a bigger fridge.
Is our ingle also taller?
Yeah.
So the National Luna fit in this hole and was basically the same height as the desk, which added just, that whole level there. But now we're going to go up higher and we're coming out. The plugs are right here for the ingle, which is going to be annoying, but we're just going to have to make it work because unfortunately there are no other fridge brands that we find reliable enough.
Yeah, it's not gonna look anywhere as nice as what it did with the National Luna because it was, it fit nice and snug in here. But it is what it is. We're gonna have an extra 15 litres of fridge space. I'm a little bit sad. It's gonna be good to have a bigger fridge, but I'm a little bit sad.
Yeah, and it's also going to alter everything that we put in the walkway here. We normally have 2 10-litre jerrys of drinking water plus our fridge
like that,
and our chairs and our salty aura rug all go in there.
Our fridge.
So our ladder, sorry.
Yeah.
So we normally have a ladder against this wall, camp chairs stacked on top of each other here, our salty aura rug on top, and then we would normally have a 10-litre jerry there and a 10-litre jerry there, and we still have a little bit of room here and on top. And it basically comes to the height of the floor or the bed space. But now we're not sure what water situation we're going to be able to have here. So it's all just a game of figuring it out.
And then you got to sort out 10 other flow-on effects. So we're about to start living that dream.
Yep, so now I'm going to go find a drop sheet, cover all this because we vacuumed it yesterday.
And then we're going to stop faffing and get into it.
We're going to get into it. So no more talking,
no
more doing. Ever so slightly in the corner here. Whoa. Wowzers. Why won't that open? It's only the pool noodle on the roof.
That's not too bad.
Sick. The only thing is this bit here.
Yeah, that is a pain in the bumhole, but the Anderson plug for it is up the back there. So, like the power situation is kind of like works all right.
It's not actually too much higher, which is nice, but we did notice That's bolt down there is awfully close. Like, that is way too close. So we're going to have to buzz that off. Sweet. It is touching all of that, but you're not going to be able to have any. It's not going to matter.
Well, Kira can hear quite a significant rattle over in this side of the car in the door while we're driving along. And unfortunately, I can hear it too. So now we're in here fishing around for a bolt that I reckon we lost or dropped off while I was working on the Troopy when I first bought it. I jumped down off the Troopy and, yeah, caught my mirror underneath my shirt. I was wearing like a button-up work shirt at the time. Ripped the mirror clean off and I snapped one of the bolts that was bolting it on at the time. And it had already had some work done to it. There's a nut on the back. So basically, the bolt straight through the door skin with a nut on the back, and the nut just disappeared down in the door. I couldn't find it at the time, but thankfully Cape York has shaken it out of its little grave in the door, but now it's just up to me to find it with a magnet. And I think I saw it in the water drain down here once upon a time, just a little nut, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll get that when we get a chance. And 10 months later, here we are, and my little magnet stick can't find it, so gonna keep looking.
Mitch has just said he can see it.
I reckon we've found it.
Where is it?
Poke your little solo polo tip in there. It is. Let me zoom in. Yep, there.
That's it. That's my rattle.
Yep.
That is it there.
All right.
Get it out.
You got it?
That can't have been the rattle.
Oh, it might make a little rattle.
It's a piece of rubber.
Yeah.
I was never going to get it with a magic stick.
Could be. I'm not convinced. I reckon it's down deeper, and the head on this thing's a bit too thick.
Let's have a look. There is a decent gap back there. Look. Mitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, look. This is the nut that was rattling. We got him. And this was in there as well.
Maybe we put that back and just say.
Dead.
When we had the rooftop installed, there was only basically 4 of these little straps, we'll call them, holding the rooftop down on each, all 4 corners. But now, thanks to some expert help, we have an extra 4. So now there's 8 points holding it down. But the next little bit, we're probably going to be on nice smooth roads instead, and we should have had this done when we did Cape York and Mount Dare and Oodadada and all those spots. But anyway, better late than never. It's done.
How good, Mum? But wait, there's more. Pink shirt for Kira. It's got to be washed. And then Mitch. 6 days left.
Currently 9 a.m.
9 o'clock in the morning. We are well rested. Had a huge night's sleep, which is awesome. Yesterday was a huge day.
Big day. Lots of Troopy jobs got did. Yeah.
Dive, Troopy jobs, sewing with Mum. Man, what a day.
Got a record-setting crayfish. Nah, it wasn't a record.
My brother would argue with that for sure.
It wasn't a record, but it was a bit of a horse. I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
Good start to the day.
As you saw, it was a great cray.
Yeah.
So that's now cooked in the fridge. Today is just do tidy up jobs. I've got to wash my van. I want to move some stuff out of my parents' unit, out of their way, and just tidy up.
Just ticking a few faff boxes.
Since my seafood allergy cleared surprisingly, I was gifted a fishing rod for Christmas, and it's only a little one and I love it to bits, so obviously I'm taking it with me when we go travelling. Now Mitch took a fishing rod with him when we went on our Queensland and Northern Territory trip, but he has like this bag and it's super cool. It looks like it came with the fishing rod, and so I needed a bag, so then I got my mum to help me make one. But in saying that, we made it out of the offcut of our new doona cover because we wanted to buy a new doona cover for the Troopy bed, but there was nothing in a double that we liked and that we wanted, so we bought a queen and we cut it down and measured it and just redid it. So this is my fishing rod bag. Basically this was already sewn together, and so was this. So all I did was sew down the side here with these pieces of string in there. And this is my little fishing rod. It's actually a kid's rod, but it's super flicky and it's fun. And all I have to do is just pop it in there. And then I could leave the flap open, or I could put it inside, which is kind of the way I've been doing it. And then all I have to do is tie around it, and it just sits in behind our seats. My mum, so amazingly, as you might have already seen, surprised us for Christmas with some patches that she had made with the help of a friend. Thank you, Anita. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Brooke, your mum's a legend. So mum got our design, transferred to the file to make patches with her embroidery machine, and she made this black and white patch, and I just put it on an old hat of mine that I never wear.
What are you doing? Hi, Cookie. Where's Mitch? Quick, where is he? Get him. Mouse. 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 Mouse.
Righto, this is packing day. We are 5 days away from leaving, so today is the main day of getting everything in the car and packed and ready to go. Tomorrow we've got a trip to Bob Jane's because our death wobble came back. Not super bad, but something worth getting fixed. We ended up making up a bit of an awning wall for the 270. That was a bit of a fluke, actually. I was just cleaning out my van, making sure there was nothing in it I wanted. And then Mum came home to her house and we altered the King's side awning wall to fit and be used on our 270, which I'm super excited about because we didn't have that last time, and it'll just be an awesome addition. More shade, privacy, windbreak, all those things. It'll be epic. We also did the fly screen, gazebo fly screen hack that I've seen on 2 other accounts. Travelling Sands is the one that comes to mind, and shout out to those guys because we've had some really good conversations over the last few months about some of the problems we've had that they've also had. So shout out to our homies, and this is what that's what I'm speaking about there. I saw them do that too. But Ingle's in, she's happy. Mitch doesn't love the orange strap, but that's something we can fix later. This is basically our blank canvas. My drawers are pretty much full of Tupperware. I am slowly starting to fill them. That'll be a tomorrow job, I think. But tomorrow afternoon, we're basically going to fix this drawer because all of our cooking stuff we use is actually in the house. And yeah, time to just pack all this nicely, pack our clothes. Hopefully not much more goes on top here. I've got the bucket that lives there, and then that's kind of going to be it. But I've got to pack those 2 cupboards, finish packing the quarter panels, and fill our clothes up, and we are done. One of the good things that we did when we got home was that we put all of the things out of the Troopy into crates and put them in the spare bathroom that we have here in our unit, and just made sure that we had kept the things that we wouldn't use every day separated so that we didn't lose them or forget what we had packed And we can always go through those and go, no, we don't need that, we don't need that. We use that all the time. So these are what my crates look like now. I basically have this here. A lot of it's rooftop stuff. Just random little bits, tea towels and whatever. And then this is a bit of a random box, some toiletries. And that's empty, which is cool because if it stays empty for a while, I'll be happy because then we can put our things that we accumulate in that. So most of the way through packing at Troopski, I feel like I'm not as organised as I thought I was. So I'm going to go inside and compile the rest of the things I think I need. But I know one thing that people are going to ask to see on my TikTok is my wardrobe and how I've packed that. So I think I'm going to film some videos on that, but you'll be able to see that on my TikTok if you haven't already. And I'm stressed, very stressed. Mitch is helping, he's doing his bit. I'm just in and out of the troopy trying to find spots and homes and remember where things were. But we're almost there. We're nearly there. We've got today and we've got most of Thursday to do it. And then we're out of here. So it is 4 more days until we leave Tasmania, and my goodness, the house is a mess, like a complete mess. Mitch has gone this morning to Bob Jane to get the tyres rebalanced, aligned and rotated. Death Wobble came back ever so slightly and we haven't talked about it at all because we were just so busy trying to deal with it when it first happened that we didn't really want to have everyone giving their 2 bobs worth. But we rotated the front tyres to the back and the back to the front, and it seemed to go away, but then it came back ever so slightly. So we just want to make sure that there is actually nothing wrong with the tyres, because if something's cracked inside the tyre or the rim or, not the rim, I wish I knew more about this. If there is something damaged in the tyre, then it will come under a warranty. So we're hoping that we can get that fixed. If we do need new tyres, then that will happen in not tomorrow, but the next day. No? Tomorrow. That will happen tomorrow. But we're leaving tomorrow to go to the northern end of the state. We're going to Launceston, and then we're going to catch up with some friends. But, and family. This is the current state of the stuff. Like, it's just everywhere. And my job this morning is to clean the house and get everything organised that needs to go in the car and put it aside. So I'm going to get stuck into that. And then we've got a little bit of time to pack the car this afternoon. And then we're going to Mitch's mum and stepdad's for dinner, because that's going to be our see you later. We are 3 days away from leaving Tassie and on our next adventure. The car is mostly packed. I have been really upset today and yesterday. This is by far the hardest trip I've ever had to leave for. And I don't really know why it's affecting me so much, but it just is. I have had such an amazing time at home, and I've had such an amazing time with my family and Mitch's family, and I think all those relationships are just so strong, and we all love each other so much, and everyone's so happy for Mitch and I that it just makes it so hard to say see you later. So we've just gone and said, well, we stayed the night at Mitch's parents, and we've just not left there, and all my emotions are super raw. I am excited, don't get me wrong, I am super excited to go on this adventure, and I just know how amazing it's going to be, because I've done a little bit of Western Australia before, but leaving this time around is just so hard and battling. But anyway, we're leaving our driveway.
Want to check the mail real quick, please?
Last time fixed address. Oh, big emotions. Hopefully we haven't left anything at home.
Keys are locked in there now. How bloody good.
Clear.
Thanks.
My God,
We are off.
officially homeless again.
What do you mean? We're in our home.
Yeah, well, like no fixed address life.
True. Yeah, so we are off. Cruising through town with the windows down.
No, we're not. The windows are up.
Yeah. No, that's it. All she wrote. Off to Telstra just to cancel the old home internet because we don't need that anymore.
No. I was meant to document a whole lot more of us packing and stuff, but I think anyone that has travelled understands the stress of the day you leave.
Yeah. Just dealing with the non-stop little problems and things that pop up and whatever.
And we definitely weren't ready to leave this morning. We knew we had a couple of hours worth of stuff to do before we left, it took a little bit longer than we thought, I think.
Yeah.
Plus, we'd been lazy and not done dishes for like 3 days, so there was a huge pile of dishes to be done.
Yeah. Don't really know what else to say, team. It starts today.
Yep, we're still 3 days away from leaving the state, but we've left home today.
Yep.
And that's it.
Go and have an explore.
Yeah, we're going to stay in a place that neither of us have been before. We're going to go to Liffey Falls, which is 2 hours and 22 minutes from my parents' house-ish. 2 hours away-ish.
Yeah, 2-ish.
So we'll go there for the night. We'll do Liffey Falls in the morning, tomorrow, and that's that. Then we'll be going to Devonport to catch up with some friends.
Yeah. And we'll make some new friends along the way.
Yep, sleeping in the rooftop tent tonight.
Yep. Rooftop life.
Yeah,
Bundu life. Back to Bundu life.
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to enjoy this last drive out of home and go say goodbye to my mum.
Mum
Which
Shaz.
I'm definitely going to cry.
Been a bit of that happening lately.
Oh yeah, yep, not going to cry right now. Long story short, we were meant to have 3 nights living in Troopski before we hit the big island. So we had a day sail booked and we wanted to spend 3 nights in the car in case anything went wrong, just a fail-safe. We could still rush back to Hobart and get things sorted. But we left very late the day we were leaving Hobart.
Yeah, we had to play whack-a-mole.
Yeah. And without going into all the details of why, we ended up being late. We stayed an extra night in Hobart. I'm going to call it Hobart because it's just the southern half of Tasmania. And we stayed with my parents for a night so we could actually properly say, see you later, instead of just like, hi, bye, and then get the hell out of there. So we were late on our itinerary, but it didn't matter because we were meeting Erin and Jessie at Liffey Falls. But I'm not going to talk any more about that because you're going to see that in the next episode, which I promise you will be next week. And I'm not going to be delayed because I've already finished editing that video and I'm all caught up.
Yeah, we're back on.
We are back on. So, all from us from right now. And love you.
Bye.